Christina Rowe, and I'm here today with some fabulous expert panelists for Outsourcing 101, how to grow your biz and get more done 10 times faster. This is a really huge subject for us entrepreneurs that we really need to pay attention to. Take notes, get out your pen and pads. And I first want to just introduce our guests here. So I'm going to give them the floor so we can start with, let's see who's up on the screen here. I just see 24-hour secretary. So introduce yourself and let us know about your business and what you do.
Okay. Hi. Hello. My name is Sharon Williams. I am the president of the 24-hour secretary. I've been a virtual assistant and virtual business manager for 28 years. So all those VAs out there who think you can't make it, you can definitely make it and do it. During that 28 years, I've done everything you can think of as a VA, starting from the basic generalist duties all the way through social media management, managing businesses, companies, entire back ends, events, etc. So if there's something that you're passionate about, then I strongly urge you to work with a VA, excuse me, who has experience and knowledge and is able to help you take your business from step 1 through step 20, through step 100, because there are VAs out there that can help you do that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sharon. That's fantastic. And Charlotte?
Hi, everyone. I am Charlotte Howard. I am a best-selling author, a board-certified life coach, and founder of Hair Artists Association, with over 4,000 members, as well as the CEO of Heart-Centered Women Publishing. And I'm just excited to be here because I, for the past 2 decades, have been helping women to really transition from employee to entrepreneur and really help them to create a freedom-based lifestyle doing what they love. And so I'm excited because part of being able to get my business and my clients' businesses to the next level, it definitely involves outsourcing because we cannot do all of the things, on our own. So thank you so much, Christina, again, for this platform. And that's what I do.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. It's wonderful. And Serena?
Hi there. My name's Serena Carcasole. I've been in the online industry for 12 years now. Feels like yesterday, but it sounds so far away. Sounds like so long ago. So much has happened that I just can't believe that 12 years has gone by. Well, let's say I started as a freelancer virtual assistant back in 2007, and rapidly turned it into a multi-type of VA business within months. I'm not the type of person that, scales. I'm the type of person I got to go from bottom to top and that's it. There's no in between. So I started doing, websites and, a lot of branding stuff and online marketing, anything to do with online marketing and that. Fast forward to 2017, I developed or invented, or whatever you want to call it, the Amazing Women of Influence line of summits, which became pretty popular, meant to, expand my marketing business, but I went above and beyond that, and it ended up becoming its own brand. It just was wildly successful, and all of a sudden, the Amazing Women Entrepreneurs Network is born. I became a coach, like everything just, kind of unfolded. So one of my morals of my stories is that, you never know where things can lead you in your business once you start taking those steps to scale. And it could be something as small as outsourcing or as small as doing little events and, just establishing yourself as an influencer, and all of a sudden, your business that's when your overnight success happens. So 12 years in the making. So now I am the founder of the Maven Women Entrepreneurs Network, which is a network of many possibilities and opportunities. We do publishing. So Amazing Women Media is it's all umbrellaed under Amazing Women Media. So we do co-authored book publishing, a series of books. We do summits, virtual summits. We do so many different things that, the list goes on. So yeah, so a lot of different things along with a marketing agency on the side.
Wow. Yeah, you're a busy lady. And it's funny you said 12 years. I started actually too online marketing 2006. So I guess I'm
Oh,
going on to
wow.
13 years. Yeah, right. It was so different,
Oh
ladies.
my
You
gosh.
guys back then, we used something. I remember I started building the first squeeze page. We called it the squeeze page, and it was on
Right.
front page. Front page. You guys don't even know what that is. Like that's for us old timers. It was a
Well,
different world.
don't call yourself an old timer. I started my business in 1990, so
Wow.
old
Okay, there was no
timer.
internet then. Yes. That was the birth of the internet, exactly, in the early 90s. So yeah, we've all been around a long time. So I want to ask you guys first. The first question. This is such, I mean, I don't know, even for myself, it's so hard to let go, and outsource. I think a lot of us have trouble with this because as entrepreneurs, it's just in our personality, our DNA to be want to do it all ourselves. We always think we can just do it better. And it's like a lot of times I think, oh, by the time I explain how to do this, I could just do it, which is not good. So I want you guys to each. We'll start around. We'll start with Sharon, and then we'll just start in the same. Then we'll go to Charlotte and Serena. How do you let go and get rid of that Let's start with the psychological block of letting go and allowing other people's, hiring, allowing people to do things in your business and stop being a perfectionist.
Well, I can respond to that in two ways. As a business owner and from the perspective of people who let go to us. As a business owner, sometimes you just have to sit down and say, why am I tired? Why is it I don't have time to spend with my family or doing things that I love to do instead of working around the clock? When you think about it that way, it becomes an issue. Also, when you decide to value your time, meaning if you know that you can make $75, $100, $200 an hour yourself, but you're spending that time on tasks that you really don't like or don't have full knowledge of, then once you take the time and say, what could I be doing that's worth $200 that I may be able to get someone to do for $50? When you look at it from that perspective, then you're saying, okay, my time is valuable. I know how I can use it to make money or to really do things that I thoroughly enjoy doing. So you just have to make that self-evaluation. What's important to you? Being a perfectionist and doing every little thing in your business, or setting up systems and let someone else handle the things that you don't like to do. Once you make that determination, it's easy to let go. And then you're saying, oh my goodness, why didn't I think of this before? What have I been doing all this time? I could have been doing this, that, and the other. So just sit down, even create a little checklist, things that you like to do, things that you love to do, things that you want to do, and then evaluate which is more important to you. Put a price on it. How much is it worth for me to stop doing this versus doing something else that I really enjoy doing, or that will help generate income, or let me go out and meet potential customers? When you look at it from that perspective, then it's a whole new ball game, and you willingly give up things that you don't want to do or don't have knowledge or experience in doing.
That's great advice. I just want to just take a moment and welcome Holly. Hi, Holly. How are you?
Hi,
Welcome.
hello,
Hi.
Before
folks.
Before we
Hi
move on, I
there.
just would like you to just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll continue with the questions.
Oh, perfect. Thanks so much. So I apologize for being a little tardy. I had little technical difficulties this morning. So my name is Holly Kyle with HJK Global Solutions. I've been in the virtual assistant industry for over a decade. I am the author of Virtual Team Builder, How to Expand Your Coaching Practice by Hiring a VA. And about 2 years ago, I actually started an online training program to teach people how to work from home successfully as a virtual assistant.
So I've been working to help people to create that lifestyle for themselves, as well as helping entrepreneurs behind the scenes. So love being able to take a crack at it from both sides.
Great, Holly. Thank you. So I'm going to just move over to Charlotte and I'll come back to you. And the question was about how to let go and give up the need for perfectionism and how to let go for outsourcing. So we'll go to Charlotte, Serena, excuse me, losing my voice, and then we'll come
That's
back to you, Holly. Charlotte?
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Christina. For me, coming from corporate and working behind the chair in the beauty industry, like literally slaving day in and day out, I understood the value of creating freedom. So it's easy for someone who's been, behind the scenes and working 24/7, getting called, in when a stylist is out. And so I knew when I left corporate that I would want to have that freedom-based lifestyle, not be, chained and tied up, but also allowing people the ability to have additional work that they absolutely are passionate about, and so that's what I think about when I'm giving other people the opportunity to grow their own businesses. From home, working and creating that freedom-based lifestyle, it's easier for me to let that task go because I'm all for women just growing their own empires, and I really think it's important to really have the ability to help other people start winning and not be so chained to the chair like I was back in corporate. But you want to be able to have that time freedom to do what it is that you love, and so just having a team behind you that's you're able to do that is just the most powerful and most sensible thing for me to do. And so it's easy, at first, you gotta build up that trust, and I think once that trust is built up, that it's a whole lot more easier to work with your virtual assistant team to really help you achieve those goals, because you're holding yourself back because there's no possible way that you can do it all yourself, especially if you want to go past that six-figure mark in business as well.
Great advice. And I just made a comment here about you're chained to the chair. I said that's a great analogy for corporate work. I love that. Are you chained to the chair?
Yes.
That is good. That's a very good description.
Yes.
Good copy. See, that's just throwing it
Thank
in there.
you.
My marketing comes in, ladies. If you're trying to talk to people who
Yes.
are, like in corporate or they have desk jobs, you can say, "Are you chained to the chair?" There you go.
Yes.
That's
Hello,
very
Christina. I love that.
love it. Yes, we can all use that. Very, very good. Thank you, Charlotte. Serena, are you still with us?
You're welcome.
I am. I'm
Great.
here. I'm
There she
here.
is.
I just didn't want to show a black screen, but I'll put it up for now. So my words of advice are when it comes to, running a business, if you want to scale a business, your business, you have no choice but to get a team involved to help you, because you can't do it all. And if you do to try to do it all, it will affect your growth, because you won't have time to put the time into the things that matter. um, you know, any kind of administrative work, specific marketing work, does not have a rapid return on investment. So if you're busy doing marketing, bookkeeping, administrative stuff, trying to sell, trying to do more, like you're trying to do everything, when are you going to have time to, focus on clients or selling product? And that's where you have to focus if you want growth in your business. So having people to support you will liberate you to not only be able to have time for your own life so you can rejuvenate and regenerate and, take that time to get clarity in your mind. You'll also have the time to actually focus on, rapid return on investments, rapid client attraction and lead generation. You need to be out there. You need to be omnipresent. You need to be everywhere in your business. And you can't be everywhere if you're stuck, in the back end, taking care of all that technical stuff and all that, marketing stuff that you don't need to do. Of course, you have to do marketing, but there's certain things that, you shouldn't be doing. Maintaining your website, SEO work, some of this some parts of social media, that should all be managed, and you should be out there putting putting your your feet to the ground and really getting out there and getting that exposure. So focus on things that generate immediate, that only generate clients and generate fast cash, in my opinion, and then get people to take care of the other stuff. My next thing that is so big when it comes to finally breaking free to outsourcing and all that is, don't look at dollar value. That's the one thing I see. So many people, first thing they think of is how much you charge. What is your price? Can I afford you? Well, how can you know what you can afford, and how, like, in a dollar value itself will not tell you what kind of return on investment you're going to get. It does not matter if someone charges $5 an hour or charges $105 an hour. You could potentially be saving money with that $105 an hour. Because people that charge more, the ones that charge more, normally have like a faster return on investment, have special tools and training. And I'm not saying to find people at $105 an hour, because I don't think there are that many out there. But what I'm trying to say is that you just don't want to focus on trying to save money and thinking of, like, how much can I afford to spend for the month. You have to focus, because someone that charges $5 an hour can take them 10 times the amount of time that someone who charges 50, okay, let's just use the number of $50 an hour, and they have all kinds of, resources and experience, and they don't need to research. I've been through it. Even myself, as a marketing agency owner, I am guilty of looking for people that are, trying to find people that are more affordable so I can have a better profit, a better profit plan. And I learned the hard way each and every time. And I would find people, telling me, like, they would send me timesheets of taking them 3 to 5 hours to do something that took 20 minutes, that I know takes me 20 minutes. And I know I'm fast, but it doesn't necessarily mean, like, maybe it'll take someone else an hour or 10 minutes more than I do. The point is that it doesn't always mean that you're going to save money, because you can get that surprise bill of what someone who has more experience. Look at experience. Look at training. Look at the, maybe they have resources. They already have special plugins for their websites and special, resources to do research and stuff like that could take them a quarter, a 10% of the time. And and then you end up hiring someone that doesn't get you ahead, because you're micromanaging so much also, because they just want instruction, instead of having someone that can tell you what's going to work better and is going to work faster. Oh, I can go on and on for hours, but I'll give everybody a chance. But those are my main things. Don't look at that. Don't look at hours. That is like dollars, because that can actually break you, and you can take 10 times the amount of time that it's taking you, because you're going to end up hiring 3 or 4 or 5 people before you finally realize, oh heck, now it's time to find someone that's more, that's more experienced.
Great, really great advice. Thank you, Serena. Holly, what is your take on this about letting go and perfectionism, and what Serena just said about, and that's a big thing for everyone watching, especially the ones who are just starting out, who don't really have the funds, and they're afraid to let go of what they do have to hire. So, Holly, what is your take on that?
Sure, Christina. And Serena's actually absolutely right. Price should never be your deciding factor. Certainly something that you can take into account, but there are a lot of things that play into that, and understanding what they have, the resources at their disposal, it can be a huge deal. A VA that has access to, I'll just use, Adobe Creative Cloud to get you the highest quality deliverables from a design perspective, and then they have training in design or something like that. You could end up hiring a designer and spending all kinds of time that a VA could actually do the work for you with the right training. 100% in support of her statement there. She also brought up the idea of revenue producing. And so when I'm talking to clients about delegating, look at the tasks that you're doing that are revenue producing, and the further away that task is from revenue producing directly, the more likely it is that you need to delegate it. So I'll use one that she brought up that is a great example: SEO. SEO, yes, can help with marketing activities and with visibility, but it's not something that's going to directly produce revenue for you, at least not in the short term. And so, I call that very far removed. Somebody else should be doing that. For coaches who are sitting, having a one-on-one, a discovery call with a client, an actual call with the client, that is, front line for revenue producing and shouldn't be delegated. But the scheduling of the call, well, sure, that can be delegated to a person or to a tool. So, really think about where things fall in the line of revenue producing activities. The other thing is, delegation is, a lot of people have mental hangups about it. And so, one of the first things I tell clients is, in our kickoff calls, there's two things. One, that they've got to make peace with the fact that they're not the only person that can do that particular task. And that sometimes is the hardest thing is they, oh gosh, I'm the only one that can do it. And so I try to get them to reframe it in, you've been the only one doing it, but now you have a partner. I'm here to help you. And making peace with that, the sooner they come to terms with that kind of reframe of thoughts, the better. And sometimes one of the things that helps them is to take this, big task and break it up into chunks. So, why don't you delegate just a piece of that to your new VA? And then you find that when you delegate just a piece of it, and then it gets a little easier to delegate another piece of it. And, not every task has to be an all or nothing, so you can break things up and delegate them. And you can still keep ownership of the pieces that make sense, but some of the pieces just don't make sense for you to do anymore. And really kind of embrace that you're growing to the point that you deserve to delegate, really. And I think that's, you've started a business, you're running a business, you deserve to be able to delegate. And, it's not about having to work those late hours just to get invoices out. Somebody else could be doing that for you. And, and then the other thing is that when you're starting with somebody in particular, you're excited because you're going to have this help and you're like, oh gosh, I'm finally not going to have to work the weekends. I'm not going to be chained to that chair. As Charlotte said, but, tackle just a few at a time. With all my new clients, I only let them in the first call, they cannot give me more than 3 things. Because after that, it becomes, you're setting yourself both up for failure. It may be 3 things that can be taken care of in an afternoon, and that's great because then we can always do 3 more. But, it's great to get those quick wins in. But if you just kind of dump the whole list, then it muddies the water on what's priority and what's not. And so if you just sit down as an entrepreneur and say, okay, these are my top 3 priorities, let's get those done first, then, get the win in and then delegate more from there. And so kind of that spoon feeding helps you to tackle that overwhelming thought of delegation from the beginning. So those are the things that I usually recommend in that realm of things that helps people to overcome kind of their own mental barriers with the process.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Holly. And that's going to lead me to my next line of question. And that questioning, I'm going to go again. We'll start with Sharon. You brought up a really good point. I just put the quote, you deserve to delegate. I put that in the comments because I love that. That's really, really great to remember. But this is probably a question I think a lot of people are probably asking themselves, okay, yes, I want to delegate. I want to hire a team. I want to get a VA. Okay, but now they don't know how. What tools, resources, how do you vet the right person? How do you find and put these systems in place? There's so many, it's overwhelming because, you can go to Fiverr or Upwork or to companies and there's so many options. And I think maybe that's probably what stops a lot of people too, is they're just confused. They don't have what systems to put into place, what to start with first. So what would you say about that, Sharon?
Well, first, I think you need to jot down some questions that you want answered. To do that, what are you looking for? So that you're not just helter-skelter checking out as many VAs as you can, but instead you have certain parameters, and these VAs should have the skills and the knowledge to perform the responsibilities that you need to have done. So that's the first thing. Create a list of the tasks that you know you want them to accomplish. Number two, there are tons of groups that offer an RFP system, request for proposal. There are associations out there, there are networking groups, etc. If you do some research online for VA industry associations or VA industry networks, etc., then they have RFP forms that have questions that you can ask, and the candidates who meet those qualifications or answer your questions properly, you can set up an interview with them. But you at least have something in writing to review to see if their responses resonate with you. And that way you can do some pre-screening. A lot of times if you have an opening, if you have an opening, you'll be inundated with responses because there's so many VAs who have similar type skills. I would throw in a trick question or two, just so you can feel out their personality and see if they would be a good match with your personality and with your philosophy and your mission. Ask those kinds of questions in the pre-evaluation stage. Another thing you could do is see who actually answers your question versus just saying anything. The perfect example of that is when people say, please do not contact me by instant messenger, as an example. And then the VA contacts them by instant messenger. That says they can't follow directions or they don't read for detail. I wouldn't pick them, quite frankly. That's just me. But they're automatically off of my list. Also, if you ask them to send you samples of the work that they've done, and they give you a link to go to their website to look at it, I would scratch them off my list also, because again, they're doing it the way they want to do it versus the way you have instructed them to do it. So that helps you understand if they're going to follow directions or not. So there are little things you can do to weed out the ones you know are not going to meet your criteria. Of course, there's Fiverr and all those other groups out there that you could research, but you have to really see if they have testimonials on their websites. I think that's important. And I don't just mean a testimonial with somebody's name and a blurb. Excuse me. I think you should have a link to whoever's providing that testimonial so you can go check them out to see if they are a legitimate business, because they could get a friend to, say, okay, you can use my name and create some language that sounds positive, but there are a lot of bogus sites out there. So you want to do your research and check out those references. Say, hey, can I call that person and get a response to how well you work with them? Are you meeting deadlines? Are you providing all the services you say you provide? Another thing you can do is if they say that they're trained or have certifications, check out the certifications. See who they got it from. An example would be if they say that I enrolled in the program and I have a certificate from that person. Is that a legitimate certificate from a legitimate coach or just someone that they took a 2-week course with and they're holding up that certificate as the do-all, be-all, and now I'm an expert? So there are things you can do to evaluate the qualifications of that VA before you pick them. Always interview someone, and I would say even look to 2 or 3 people and then see out of that group who best meets your criteria. And then the other thing you could do is only give them a small task. You don't have to give them a big job. Give all three of them the same task and see how they handle it. And that will also help you see how well they can handle work, how well they work under pressure. Give them a tight deadline to see if they can meet it. So those are the kinds of things I would recommend that you do.
Great. Those are really great. And what you said about was interesting. I love how testing them out about the private messages. And it just made me chuckle because here in our main group here, it says right like everywhere. The first thing in caps says, do not PM admins and ask why your post has not been approved. Well, all of us get inundated. All of us admins, myself, the other admins say, oh my God, these people why isn't my post not approved? Oh, so you know what I said? Do not answer them because they didn't read the rules. So if you're watching, don't PM the admins. It's not their fault. They're following the rules when they approve your post. I just had to put that in because I had to laugh because it's so true, though. People now, they say we have the attention of a goldfish. We don't have a good attention span, and we don't read and we don't pay attention, and we just do what we want to do. And it's really important when you're hiring people that they do pay attention. So that is a really great thing to give some little tricks out there to your potential people that you're hiring to see if they follow instructions. Probably could save a lot of aggravation and heartache down the road if you hire them and they're not listening to you. So thank you, Sharon. So Charlotte, what is your take on all this? Can you hear us, Charlotte? I see her nodding her head, but I don't know if she could hear us. Let me see.
Maybe it's a little delayed.
It's a little delay. I see. Serena, do you want
to? Sharon
there she
provided
is.
so much value, and I agree with her. I mean, everything that she stated, it's absolutely a must because, when it comes to outsourcing your work, you want to make sure that you have all of those tasks done for sure. And another thing I would actually add is making sure that, if this person that you're hiring, that you have someone else that can actually do the work when this person is not available as well. And then, of course, researching. I love the aspect that Sharon mentioned, testing out on different tasks and seeing who actually does the work and follow it as you instructed as well. And it's just so important, just making sure that you have someone, like if this person that you're hiring is going to be out, you definitely want to make sure you have someone else that could actually do the same job, the same task, because if this person is out, then how are you going to keep moving your business forward? And so you want to make sure you definitely consider that as well, and make sure that they actually know how to do the work that they say they know how to do, because oftentimes, especially when I first started out, I would hire people, especially coming in, making that transition as an employee. I was one of those people that was looking for, okay, well, I can afford this amount. Let me hire the person, as we talked about before, let me hire the person that fits within my budget. And, a lot of times you're really, hurting yourself if, that person doesn't have the experience that they say they have, and then they're doing the task and it's not meeting the quality. And so it's like you have to keep going back, checking behind this person, if this if the task is correct, is the group to be done, is the sales page done like you wanted it to be done, because they said on their credentials that they are the expert. So you definitely want to go through all of those bullet points that Sharon mentioned to really vet the person, the team that you are going to be utilizing. You're going to save your time, you're going to save more money, and you're going to be able to attract a lot more clients just having the right team behind you doing the work for you.
Great advice. Very good, Charlotte. And I like that, having a backup. I just put that in the comments. Have a backup in case your person's not available, because God forbid something happens, person gets sick, they go on vacation, and you don't have anybody else who's onboarded and knows what they're doing. You're going to be in trouble. So very good. Serena?
Thank you.
Hi there. Oh, these were all amazing. The ladies will have all amazing things to say. What I would like to say to add to that list is, and one, yes, I totally agree. Having someone that either has their own backups or you have your own backup, because believe me, you will have people that go MIA. They'll go missing in action, and you're not going to know where they went, why they went, and some people like they say that they can handle something they can't, and then they disappear instead. So like it's always best to have backups. And I always have like a folder of people that whenever I connect with people, I keep them all and I keep folders of things so I can always go back. But that's why I like hiring like agency types where it's a multi-person team. So this way, if one person's not available, there's always somebody else that's taking over. So what I would like to say though is, I just ask. Ask people you know. If you're not networking and don't know any other entrepreneurs, there's a problem. And so you have to make sure that's why it's so important to get connected, be part of groups, special groups, not just like being part of Facebook groups, but be part of like networking groups and mastermind groups and stuff like that. I can guarantee you, like everyone, like every single one of them is going to have some type of professional, marketing agency or marketing expert or administrative or whatever. Like you're always going to find people that are either already in there or are actually the people that, have already worked with people that they can refer and that they can rave about. So going with people that have actually used the services before, or you've gotten to know them in different ways, that is really the best way to work with someone that can be reputable, that will take care of you, versus trying to just source people all over the place, and they have, you know what I mean, and you have no way of knowing if it's that person's really someone that is reputable or not. Even the fact, I see a lot of people when I first started, they wanted to have references. Listen, that's the worst thing you can ask for because no one's going to give you a bad reference. Whether it's an actual client that likes them, that's a friend, or whether it's their mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, aunt, whatever, they're going to give you good reviews, whether it's somebody who's really a business that they worked for or not. So that is not the way to go. Don't ask for references. Sorry, not reviews. References. Testimonials are phenomenal. Yes, absolutely. They should be on a website. Do they have a reputable website? However, testimonials are not always legit. So you have to go beyond the testimonials. That video testimonials. I like that better. I would actually look and see, does this person have video testimonials? Does this person, but again, it's always best to always try to go within your tribe, whoever's in your tribe, to find if they either one of them does this or if they can refer people or not. Those are really the top ways to find a reputable company. And again, no asking for references.
Great. I think I lost you guys for a split second there. Thank you, Serena. Excellent, excellent advice. Holly, tell us your thoughts on this.
Sure, and I will echo the ladies have all given great advice and tips. Just a couple of things to add here. When talking about the skills, I believe it was Sharon that mentioned, don't assume that just because somebody said that they could do it, that they can. But to add another layer to that is, if somebody says, "Oh, I can do MailChimp newsletters," or they've done them, then probe a little bit deeper than that. Did they write the copy? Did they find the images? Did they or did they just copy and paste and schedule it? Are they experienced in setting up automations in MailChimp? So really look at where they are within that program and what their skill level is, because if somebody's saying to you, "I can do MailChimp," and in your mind you're thinking, "Great, I don't have to do anything in there anymore," and the reality is that all they know how to do is open and press schedule, then there's a huge disconnect in the ability to get the work done that you need done. So don't be afraid to ask questions and probe deeper. I think the other thing is really talking about communication and expectations. When don't be afraid to ask them, when I give you a task, when should I expect you to be able to turn it around? Now, granted, there are going to be some things that take a week or 2 weeks or longer. But, a standard task, is 48 hours a reasonable expectation, to be either done or updated on the task. How will you let me know? Are you going to email me? Are we going to have a phone call? Are we going to making sure that you're on the same page for how you're going to communicate with each other, and so that you understand and agree to the expectations. If it doesn't feel right to you, then don't hire them. Don't hire out of desperation. And Serena mentioning the go to your tribe. That's the number one place to find the right fit is, if you're hanging out with a tribe that you feel comfortable with and you say, hey, I'm ready to hire somebody to do XYZ, who's your rock star, go with that and interview those folks to see, because they're most likely going to be a good fit for you. So, have a phone conversation, have a video chat with them, connect with them in the deepest way that you can. I typically, whenever I'm adding to my own team, I get into the, what's their schedule like? Are they working around a family schedule? I'm a single mom, and while I'm an empty nester now, when my son was in high school, we had band and competitions and swim and practice and all these things, and I needed somebody that could relate to that. And, somebody who doesn't have children is going to have difficulty relating to, my needs for that kind of flexibility and understanding. So I think finding somebody that really connects with you on that personal level is going to be important, because a VA is not just somebody who you're handing off tasks to. It is somebody that ultimately you're building a relationship with. And I think that's one of the problems that happens when you go to an Upwork or a Fiverr. It's a one-off thing most often. And, the benefit of a VA really is that long-term relationship that you can build with them. And it really, that comes down to, sharing some core values. And so don't be afraid to bring some of those ideas into the interview process. In the book, I actually give you about 20 questions that you should ask in every VA interview. And they don't focus just on skills. There are some, there's some soft skill things, that dive into personality and, but on top of, what type of compensation do you do? Are you billing by the minute? Do you round up to the quarter hour? Eliminate some of those surprises and going back to be bold in that interview. Don't be afraid to ask the questions that you want to ask, because the right VA is going to be an open book for you, and it's going to say, ask me whatever you need to ask me to get the work done. And, and if there's ever any little red flags that come up, walk away and, don't feel like you cannot do that, because this is somebody who is going to have intimate knowledge of all the workings of your business, and that trust has to be there. And if it starts to crumble from the interview process, it's only going to get worse. So, make sure that you feel good about it from the beginning.
Great advice, Holly. I like how you said, don't hire out of desperation, and don't be afraid to ask. Now, Sandy just asked, what is the title of your book?
The title of the book is Virtual Team Builder, How to Expand Your Coaching Practice by Hiring a VA. And I will say this, I have a PDF version that I am happy to share with anybody that's on the call, because I think there's some good knowledge in there about where to look and
Wow.
So you guys can post in the chat, and I will put the download link in there.
Yes, put the link in there. Thank you so much, Holly. That's
Sure.
fantastic. Yes,
Sure.
we will. Thank you. That is going to be a really great resource.
No
So,
problem.
so I wanted to now just ask you guys about the nitty gritty of actually training and onboarding. And what are the best tools to use for that? Is it best to do like a video tutorial? How do you get what you need relayed to the person who you're hiring in the best, clearest way possible? That and I think that's a lot of places where people get stuck too. They don't know how to give those tasks off the way they want. So let's start back with Sharon, and then we'll go through everyone again.
Okay. One thing you could do is a video tutorial. Have a conversation with the person. Tell them verbally, if you don't do video, tell them verbally exactly what it is you need and the timeline you need to have it completed in. But that video tutorial, when you're describing what you want, be very specific. And one thing you can do is then have that VA create a video about what she heard, what she thinks she heard, because sometimes it's miscommunication and what you're saying may not be what she's hearing. So have her respond to your video. She may even have questions or things she didn't understand, or she may have an easier way to accomplish the task. And so she may want to give you feedback to say, well, I know you do it this way, but there's this technology out here that'll make this easier. Let me talk to you about that. So it's a communication on both sides. Another thing that you could do is create a checklist. And with that checklist, you can identify all the steps of the process, or you can give your VA a description and have her create a checklist of the steps she would be taking to complete the task. And then comparing the two, you would probably come up with a great system and have something documented so that, as everyone said earlier, if that VA is no longer working with you or is absent or has to take a leave or something, you have that step-by-step process that you can have someone else use to make sure the task gets done. One other thing that I recommend is creating an operations manual. And with that operations manual, you can document everything that it needs to be done in your business, from having your passwords to security, to the files you use on a regular basis, to the technology you use on a regular basis. Have all of that together in one location, hand that off to them. They can implement some of the things that you've done, make recommendations about others, supplement it, update it as old technologies, are no longer used, like some old copies of Microsoft people don't even use anymore. They're into the new Microsoft, or there's some old versions of software that is extinct now and they're using Datsumo or a lot of things. So you want all of that documented so that you can transition to that person and from that person.
Wow, those are really great advice. I just put that in the notes, everyone. Have the VA respond to your video with a video of what she understood from your training video. Create a checklist for your VA. Excellent. And also create an operating manual. And that's what big companies do. They have manuals and books, big giant books when people are hired, or video. Now it's more, back in the day was probably written. Now it's all probably videos and stuff. And this way you can hire multiple people and not have to keep duplicating, the same stuff because it's already there. So excellent advice, Sharon. So Charlotte, go ahead.
There are storage places you can put them in Dropbox, or if you use Teamworks, you can put it in there that way.
What is that called? Teamworks?
Teamworks. Yes, it's a.
I haven't heard of that.
Let's see. Have you heard of? Oh my goodness, can't even think. 17 Hats.
I've heard of 17 Hats. So Teamworks, is that .com?
Yes.
Teamworks.com.
PM. It's called Teamworks PM. I'm not sure of the exact URL.
And maybe you could post that after. And then and I've heard of 17 Hats. That's another good one.
You could have Trello. You could have Asana. Yeah. It's a ton of management systems out there that someone could use to store these processes, even create the processes in those systems. So there's a lot of technology out there that would make the entire process easy. There's for videoing, you can put plugins on your desktop, and one of them is Loom,
Oh yeah,
uh,
Loom. I love Loom.
LOOM, and you can create a short screenshot video in 10 minutes. So, there are the tools out there that make it easy to communicate and follow up with each other.
Yes, Loom is great. It's actually, I'm going to put the URL because it's free. It's useloom.com, and they have now you can do it either by a desktop or you can do it by the Chrome browser, and it's a really great free tool. Thank you so much, Sharon. Charlotte?
Yes, Sharon, she's been coming out with all the amazing tools, and I absolutely love it. One of my favorites is by far is Dropbox. We utilize Dropbox a lot for it because we place the videos in there for our team to, just watch the video, and then they can comment, and they can tag anyone else that wants to give additional feedback, especially if you're brand new and you're not techie. Dropbox is definitely going to be a easy one for you to really have that communication aspect as well. A lot of my team definitely does a lot of messaging using Facebook, of course, because we communicate a lot on that as well. Facebook Messenger, just to communicate, um, just to have that human connection is just like so important when you have a team working together. I've seen far too many times where people they hire it's like no type of communication, and so communication is going to be.
Now, are we all frozen or is it just me? Let me just see.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it looks like everyone else seems a little bit frozen. No, just Charlotte maybe.
Yes, because I
Okay.
can hear you, Holly.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Okay,
can hear you
okay. I
guys.
think maybe okay, great, great. Okay, no little tech difficulties here. Okay, so Serena, what
Hi.
is your take on all of this with tools and training and the best way to train and
So
onboard?
my and great tips so far. Pretty much, yeah, creating systems, creating something that you can, follow through with. As soon as you hire someone, get them to start training, create that system so that for the next person it's already there. But doing little videos are great. I like to get on the phone with them and I do like a screen share and you can record it and I like to show them so they can ask me questions live. So I like to do things like in that sense, and like I kind of have like an intro call where, okay, today we're going to go through like how we work, we run the website, and this is how we, do our blogs, and this is, what you need to do to make sure your blogs are, better, or whatever the case is, right? So then I show them all the different steps of things that we could potentially do that they're going to focus on. We create a to-do list because sometimes it's easier to follow your own list than it is to follow a list that someone else has created. So they word it their way. It makes more sense to them, and easier ways for them to absorb it. So I like to kind of have a call so we can go through it, and then allow them to create their notes also. But definitely, the easiest way, the least work would be to actually systemize it and have it all set up for you. Now, Facebook Workplace seems to be getting very popular. I've attempted to use it but never followed through with it. But Facebook Workplace supposed to be good for communicating with your teams, and I'm not sure what other things, but I'm sure there's other wonderful things part of it. So definitely look into Facebook Workplace. It's free, and who we all like free stuff, right? Google Drive, using spreadsheets that you can both go back and forth, or however many people on your team, using Google Spreadsheets, Google Docs, so you can go back and forth, and updates are real time, so that if you make a change, you don't have to worry about getting into their email. Did it make it to the email? Did they check their email on time, and all that stuff? So use things that allow you to work real time. I also use Asana, Trello, are all things that I use. There's different ones like for sales. So it really depends what it is that you're doing. If it's sales, there's like Monday, I think .com is one of the newer ones. But again, there's just a ton of different things online that you can really use. But you need to find something that's simple and that will work well for all team members, because some team members are not they might get overwhelmed with all the different things they have to use. So keep it as simple as possible. And that's why I love Google Docs. Honestly, Dropbox and Google Drive is my fave thing because it's easy to use and almost everyone uses it.
Great, great, wonderful. That is very good advice. Yes, I just was writing down some of those tools in the chat box. Fantastic. So, okay, wonderful, Serena. So now we have Holly. Holly, what is your take? Anything to add to that?
Sure, I will. I'll weigh in on just a couple of thoughts. Absolutely, operations manual and Serena. I love that you said doing it real time with them so they can ask questions, have a recording. One of the things that I would add would be that have them do part of it, and then let you check the work halfway, or at least check it before it's published the first couple of times. Because one of the worst things that you can say is, if something doesn't make sense, ask me questions. And the reason I say that that's a terrible thing to say is because that is all subjective. It may, in their mind, make perfect sense, but it's not at all what you were looking for. And so, you can't expect them to ask questions for something that they didn't know wasn't what you had in mind. So the best thing to do is to actually look at what the work is. And so, if it's a blog post, have them put it.
I think we might have
Looks like
And
lost Tom.
you
Oh,
can
there we
go in and
Can you guys hear me, or is that
I
are
can
we
hear
all
you.
okay?
I
Can
can
we
hear
hear
you.
Yes,
Holly,
So
or
I
did
can
we
hear
lose
you.
Holly?
for example,
She
sales
I
page,
lost
think we
her.
one of
lost.
those super long ones.
She's
Uh, uh, can you guys hear me? Okay.
You were
you're
breaking
Yes,
back.
we
up.
can hear you now.
You guys, okay, perfect. We can hear you now. Okay, great. I think
Can you hear me?
you're freezing up, so there might be something with the connection because you froze a couple of times.
Hmm.
Now we see you
Okay.
again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can hear you
Okay.
now.
Sorry about.
I think you froze up again there. So you know what? Can you, everybody else hear me? Okay, I think we
Yes.
lost her for
I can
one
hear you.
sec. Okay, great, great. Okay. So, hopefully she can jump back on, because what I want to do now since we're at the hour is, I want everyone to, again, you told us in the beginning about your businesses, but I know many of you offer some of these services that we were talking about today. Or maybe if you don't, you can recommend, like, what would be the easiest way? Like, maybe somebody really doesn't want to, like, the thought of, like, honestly, for me, like, to ask a million questions and this and that, like, I just wish somebody just give me the good people. Like, a lot of people don't go through all that. So, like, you say about agencies and stuff, like,
Yes.
either you have a recommendation or your company does it. So, and I want you guys to all be able to post your links to your businesses in the comments as well. But if we can just go round and just tell us, we'll start with Sharon. Just tell us about, what you offer and just a little bit of how it works. Like, if we were to hire you, as people who are watching today, how we could hire you, or if you don't offer the service, who you recommend.
Okay, well, again, my company is the 24-hour secretary. I've been in business for 29 years. I have had a team of as many as 57 VAs working at the same time, covering a full service shop of all the services that you would need. I personally focus on helping customers move from one level to the other. And what I mean is I actually assume the entire business operation for that client, and then through the support of myself and some other key members, we actually can run your back office operation while you're out meeting customers or making sales or learning other things that you need to know. We are running the business on your behalf. Everything from online to management to connecting with vendors, etc. our team can do that for you. We, and I will tell you this quite frankly because I'll say it to everyone during an interview, we are not the cheapest guy in town. So if that's where you're coming from, there's no need to reach out to the 24-hour secretary because cost, while it is a factor, it is not a major issue that we address because we know based on our tenure, based on our knowledge, experience, and training and background that you get what you pay for, and with our team, you're getting the best. And there's one other thing I'd like to mention for individuals that are interested in becoming virtual assistants. And you have other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am always available to share my knowledge with anyone or make recommendations for people who want to become VAs as far as coaching programs, training programs, technology programs, etc. Feel free to get in touch. There's no charge. I just love helping people in the industry because when I started, there were only a few VAs and we all supported each other, and we continue to do that now. And one other point, if you're interested in being a VA, we actually have a convention coming up starting 2 days from now. So if you're interested in learning about the convention, I'm not going to post the URL or mention it, but just get in touch with me and I can provide details.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Sharon, for all of your knowledge today. This has been amazing. And yes, VAs who are watching, great opportunity here as well. And that's a 24-hour secretary. And Sharon's going to share her link in the comments after the video. So thank you, Sharon. And Charlotte, tell us about your business and what you recommend, or if you provide any of these types of services.
Absolutely. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Sharon. I work primarily with beauty business professionals who are looking to really scale out their knowledge, as well as women entrepreneurs who are transitioning from employee to entrepreneur. So we actually do a lot of the publishing aspects, sales writing, copywriting, customer service, that type of thing, really being behind the scenes and helping you with that. So you can definitely reach out to us. No task, of course, is too small, but I also like recommending the women who are here who actually have the VA services, specifically that are not in the realm, of course, because they have these other different teams in place. So I'm actually going to be reaching out to many of you, Miss Sharon and Holly as well, because I believe in really having a good team of people that you can reach out consistently to, and which makes your business thrive even more. So I definitely recommend them as well. And if you're in the beauty industry, that you're looking to transition, from an employee to an entrepreneur, or you are a woman entrepreneur that you're still working on a job, definitely reach out and let's see how I can actually recommend the right people, the right tools, the right resources as well, because that's what I'm all about. So thank you again, Christina, and everyone here.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. And just a little FYI, in my former life, I used to own a salon in New Jersey. So I was in the beauty industry. Where were you back then? Yeah, I sold it in 2006, Vogue Hair and Nails, and it's actually still there. The people who bought it for me still run it, and I still a lot of the same employees. And actually, it's kind of funny because the man I bought it from, he was a hairdresser. He still works there. I didn't personally do hair, which made it challenging. So I owned it. I did makeup and not hair. And so, yeah, I was in the beauty industry. A lot of people don't know that. And it's a very interesting industry.
Yes, it is. It's a fun industry. Yes.
Working at a salon is definitely interesting. Yes, never a boring day with everybody. I had to throw that in there when you said that. So great. Thank you so much, Charlotte. You put all your information in the comments. And Serena?
Yes, thank you. So I am, like I said, do many things. So with my business, it was Virtual Business Solutions on Demand, which is mostly marketing, design, marketing, branding, anything to do with websites. Branding, and branding is so much more than just logos. That's the first thing I want to say to everyone. So different parts of branding, anything lead generation, visibility is what we handle. If you're looking, you're looking to take your business to the next level and you really want to get yourself all over the place and be known as an influencer and build that, following, list building, email marketing, online groups and stuff like that. That's where we really thrive and focus on. So we offer everything such as copywriting also. We're Pinterest marketers. We do some social media too, and so many different things, building your group, managing your group, growing your group, coaching, consulting, all of this good stuff is everything we do. And if I don't have, the specific service that you need, or if it's something that we prefer not to work on because we know it's not where our strong suit is, then we will, I have a huge connection of the virtual assistants. I have a group of over 2,000 women in virtual assistants. I have the Amazing Women Entrepreneurs Network of over 10,000 women, a few other groups, so over 17,000 women that we could connect you with, email lists and all that, plus, of course, any of these amazing women here that I'd be happy to connect you with also, if that I can connect people that come to us with. So so if we can help you, we'll help you find someone to help you. But if you really want visibility and exposure, and you want to write books, publish books, get on co-authored books, run your own summit, build your list, guys, email list building, absolutely impossible. Absolutely possible. It is the asset to your business, the most important asset of your business. And without assets, your business will not thrive. So build that list and contact us to help you do it.
Thank you, Serena. You are a wealth of information and resources. So definitely reach out to Serena. She's got a huge network. So she can definitely help you. And she's going to also put her links in the comments here. And Holly, are you there? Did we lose you? And I don't see you. I think we lost Holly. But Holly, if you're watching this, please put in the comments your company, what you do, write out, exactly just answer the question in the comments, because we want to know about your company as well and what services that you provide. And your ebook, of course. Everybody's really excited to get a hold of that. So I just want to close by saying thank you to all these fabulous women here today. You guys are just amazing. And I have to say, we just have the best experts in the Standout Online program. I mean, you guys are just amazing from our group. I mean, it's just all these shows are just incredible. I learned from them. I think you guys are wonderful. And I'm really excited that we covered this topic today, because this is a big one, and we're going to have more shows coming up, everyone, so stay tuned with our experts. And thank you, ladies, so much. Please just make sure that you put your comments so people can reach out to you after watching this. And this is also on our podcast, the Woman Helping Women Entrepreneur podcast. This recording will be there as well. And if anybody wants to reach out, if you're listening to the podcast, join our Facebook group. I'm just going to put this out at womanhelpingwomen.group, and you can catch the replay under units. So if you want to reach out to these ladies and you're watching from our podcast, whether it's on iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify, this way you can still have access to these wonderful resources and that they provided today. Thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Christina, for everything that you do.
Again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
for having us.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.